So that's 3 stops at the center of 3 of the world's largest religions. It reminds me of a joke. A priest, a rabbi, and an imam walk into a bar. But by bar, I mean this show. Joining me to discuss the president's trip, we've got Father Jonathan Morris, Rabbi Shmuley, and Imam Shamsi Ali. All right. Jonathan, I chose you alphabetically, not because your religion is any better or any worse. That'll be for another time. All right, you're gonna go. You got President Trump going to see the Pope. What do you think the Pope's gonna say to him? Because the Pope doesn't agree with President Trump on a lot of stuff. Yeah, have you noticed that?
No, you know what? He agrees with President Trump on the importance of peace, and I think that's what they're going to talk about. You know, we focus a lot in the news about social issues, political issues, economic issues. What Pope Francis is concerned with every day is major global issues of war and peace. And I think that's what he's going to talk about with President Trump, who has said over and over again that one of his priorities is peace, not only in the Middle East, but peace in the world.
I think the Pope, I'm going to get in trouble for this. I think the Pope is kind of naive about the world. Do you agree with me?
It's not bad to have an innocent person as Pope. Okay,
yeah,
that's not a bad thing.
That is true. That is true. But I mean, he believes that like if we could only have peace, but it's sometimes.
What else would you want? You're like we want a Pope who's not interested in peace.
Yes.
We want a Pope who is not innocent. We want a Pope.
Good point. Good point. You're good. You're right. Okay. Father Jonathan, you win that round.
Okay.
Imam Ali, he's going to Saudi Arabia. I imagine he's going to talk about radical Islam and talk about moderation. He's going to talk about the need for temperance and all that kind of stuff. What do you expect? What do you hope to see?
You know, truly, I feel paradoxical. Many things on many things. Number one is I'm so happy, but I'm sad at the same time because I'm a Muslim.
Right.
And we, I think, in agreement that Saudi Arabia had been the source of many radicalism around the world.
True.
And now Donald Trump is going to talk about tolerance in Saudi Arabia. It's paradoxical in my view.
Yeah.
And I've read many news saying that Donald Trump is going to talk about Islam in front of 50 Muslim leaders. You know, Donald Trump basically is the source of ignorance about religion. I can see it. I'm a Muslim in America. I'm a Muslim in America.
Well, hold on. What do you mean by that? Am I allowed to ask questions?
Yeah, you can ask questions.
Yeah.
I knew this was going to happen.
Donald Trump.
This is called the bar fight.
Donald Trump had been the cause of many of the rise of Islamophobia, and not only Islamophobia, anti-Semitism as well. And the Rabbi is here to talk about that. But I'm very sad, but I'm very happy also. Why? Because I truly wanted to see connection between these two great religions.
Yeah.
He is going to Saudi Arabia, going to Israel, going to Rome. I think these 3 Abrahamic religions must be in the front line for peace.
Can I respond quickly, Rabbi? Let me just get. Sorry. I want to. I think that Imam, you might have made when you conflate Trump's regard toward or hate of radical Islam. I don't think that's Islam. So when you put them together, that's more Islamophobic than maybe what he's doing. But that's my. I could be.
I truly hope that he's going to fight a radical Islam or what's so-called radical Islam.
Yeah.
But when he generalized Muslims radical, that's what the problem is.
Okay.
Well, let me first say that this is the driest bar I've ever been to.
Rabbi.
Talk about religion phobia as if men of God don't drink. But okay. Let me say with respect, with great respect to Imam Shamsi, Donald Trump is the only one who finally punished Assad for killing Muslims and Arabs.
Yeah.
And Assad got away with it. He was gassing Arab children, and nobody cared.
Yeah.
And when he goes now to Israel and Saudi Arabia, he would establish an eternal moral legacy if he decides to bomb the Syrian crematoria, which was revealed this week. And who knows more about crematoria that incinerate people's bodies than the Jews when Roosevelt wouldn't bomb Auschwitz. So that story came out this week, and nobody really cares. In the final analysis, however perfect or imperfect Trump is, however justifiable, some of the comments he made are not. Action is what most matters. And you have this genocide in Syria that no one seems to care about. And if the Saudi Arabian leg of the visit goes on without anyone discussing this, it'll be simply astonishing and shocking. Because for all the political upheaval we have had this week in this country, in the final analysis, there are some issues of eternal import that we're really not focused on.
Yeah.
And at the top of that is stopping mass murder.
Yeah, that's a good start. All right, Father. Let's be honest here about Donald Trump. He's not really religious. I mean, let's face it. I mean, he got the evangelical vote, but you know, it's like we know why. So, is that a positive that he really doesn't have a dog or cat in this hunt? That he's not a holy man? That could help him bring people together?
First of all, I should say I love the fact that Greg Gutfeld is like creating world peace here. This is an amazing thing. But
Thank you.
yeah. But you know what? Pope Francis is going to be meeting with Donald Trump, and he's not going to be asking him for his religious credentials.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to be a religious person. You don't have to be following organized religion to actually seek peace. And I think what Pope Francis is going to do, and I hope they do that also in Israel as well as in Saudi Arabia, is say, hey, let's work with anyone who's willing to work for peace.
Yeah.
And I know that's what we all want, and I believe that's what Donald Trump wants, and I believe that's what Pope Francis wants.
Last word to you.
I just wanted to say that many people see this as a religious trip.
Yeah.
Or trip for religion. In fact, in my view, it's not because of Almighty, it's because of all money. Because Saudi Arabia is a rich country, it's about oil, and that's why he chose Saudi Arabia to look like he represents Islam. In fact, if you want democracy and Islam, if you want freedom and Islam, you have to go to Indonesia.
You're
or
right.
Turkey,
That's a
rather
good
than going
point.
to Saudi Arabia.
It's a good. You don't want Turkey coming here after what they after you saw the president's henchmen. Holy. Anyway, we're talking about that.
There's nothing. I would say in all of our religions, there's nothing wrong with money, though. It's the love of money.
There's
and
nothing
I think,
wrong with money.
I think
but
if we
what is
can
wrong
work
here is
if we can
using
work,
religion for money.
If we can work with it's not using religion for money. It's working with powerful people to create peace, and that's a very good thing.
And on that note, we must roll. That was fun. We should do this more often. All right, coming up. A text.